Hi guys, it's Avi's mommy, and it's time for a weekly update. So today I actually want to talk to you guys about something that just happened, and it affects a lot of kids with autism. I know everything that I talk about has to do with autism because our child is autistic. But do you know what the circadic rhythm is? Circadic rhythm is? It's your body's natural rhythm of sleep cycle. So, on an average, most of us will get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, and that is what we need to keep our bodies motivated and going. Now, children with autism, ASD, sensory issues, whatever, they don't have a naturally occurring circadian rhythm. So, they will tend to have issues with their sleep. Now, the reason I bring this up because I've always gloated like an ass about how Avi has been sleep trained since he was little. So I had Avi, he was a little premature, got him up to weight, but as soon as he was able to hold his own bottle, I had him sleep trained. I wouldn't pick him up, I wouldn't do anything. He would hold his little bottle, go back to sleep, wake up, diaper change, hold his little bottle, go back to sleep. I would not pick him up in the middle of the night and rock him. I didn't co-sleep with him. I wanted him to be independent. So sleep training was on point. Of course, kids go through sleep regressions. Every child does it. It's a part of their growth. And when they go through a growth spurt, usually you'll see a bigger sleep regression. Well, excuse me. Um, so kids with autism, you'll see that their sleep regression or their sleep cycles are very teeter-tottery. So they'll go maybe they'll wake up earlier than what they normally do. So like let's say they go to sleep at 10 p.m., which is significantly late, and then they'll wake up at 5 a.m. So there's only a small window where they're getting rest. Or let's say in our case, I would put Tommy to bed. He would go to sleep on time almost every day at like 7:30 p.m., 8 o'clock the latest, and he'd be up at 7 a.m., which was perfect because like that's like a really great window for him to be getting rest. He's a really active kid. So I was like, okay, cool. So for the longest time, he's been on this sleep track, 7:30, 8 o'clock bedtime, and then 7 a.m. wake up. Sometimes he'll sleep in. If he's not feeling well, his sleep cycle gets thrown off. However, we noticed it on Thursday it started. So Thursday, he didn't want to go to sleep. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, and we would put him in bed. Normally we just put him in his crib, and then we close the door, say goodnight, put his soft music on, and then walk out, and he'll self-soothe himself to go to sleep. And this has been a thing that we've been doing for a very long time. So put him in the bed, and he gets out, and he keeps getting out, and he keeps getting out. Now, when this would happen before, normally I would just lay down with him either in the room next to his crib or take him to our bed and do it. I kid you not when I tell you nothing worked. So finally I just said, okay, I'm going to do this one last time, and I'm going to sit with you in your room. Make sure you don't get out of the bed. So I had to sit beside his crib. Excuse me. I sat there probably about 30 minutes until I heard his breathing pattern changes. And then he was finally asleep. He was hitting deep sleep. So that was Thursday night. Friday night again. Saturday night again. And when I say we put him in our bed, we tried to co-sleep, maybe the body warmth, maybe he just needed to feel our presence, nothing. Sunday night comes and he is not sleeping. He had napped during the day because he was tired, of course, from lack of sleep, because when he would finally fall asleep, he would still wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. He was coming into our room Sunday morning at 6:30, which if you're going to bed like at 11 o'clock at night, kiddo, 10:30 at night, like you shouldn't be in my room at 6:30 in the morning, period. Because that's just no. So he took a nap. We were driving. We were supposed to go to like a farmer's market, and he fell asleep in the car. And my husband's a big stickler, like, don't wake kids. Do not wake kids when they're sleeping. It's bad for their brain development, whatever. So he slept in this car, and we probably drove for about an hour and a half before he woke up. Came home. It was about 4:30. So I was like, okay, we're gonna get him fed, give him dinner, give him a bath, brush his teeth, get him on that cycle because tomorrow he has therapy and school. So we'll get him up early, go to bed. No, I did everything. I gave him a healthy dinner. I gave him his bath. I brushed his teeth. Gave him, nice, relaxing little lotion massage. Oh, brought him to bed with us because we couldn't even watch like our shows. We couldn't watch a movie. We couldn't watch anything. And we didn't want him to like keep on engaging with the TV. So we just shut off everything. And we said, okay, well, we're going to go to bed. We went to bed, brought him into the bed with us. And he would get real quiet and he would stop moving, but like you could tell he wasn't asleep. And then he would move and kick, and then he would talk and clap, and his brain just kept on going, and he just kept on, activity wise. Around 4:00 in the morning, I was like, bruh, I can't anymore. Like, this is a lot. Like, I'm done. Took him to his room, put him in his crib. And my husband says, I'm gonna lock the door. Like, we're not gonna do this anymore. So I left him in the room, and he fell asleep at like 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Or Monday morning, I'm sorry. 5 a.m. Monday morning now. He finally falls asleep. We ended up sleeping in. I think my husband and I woke up at like 8. And then Tommy or Avi didn't wake up till like 9 a.m. And I had already texted the therapist. I was like, hey, he's not going to go to school. Can we rearrange his therapy schedule so that he can go in? I don't want him to miss any days. He's in a sleep regression. So he went yesterday to therapy. And he actually had a good day. He wasn't tired or anything. He didn't want to eat that much, but that's fine. Like, he goes through these food waves. But we came home and I had told my husband, look, we've been talking about changing his bed out and getting him used to a big boy bed, transitioning him over. So I was like, let's just remove this front rail from his bed because he loves to climb. He thinks his bed is like the best jungle gym in the world. And in the middle of the night, when he gets out of bed, if he's like playing hooky or whatever, it's so dark in his room, he can't see where the footing is to jump back into his bed. So let's just remove that front gate. He can climb in and out as he wants to. So we did that. And I'll insert a little picture of him asleep in his big boy bed. But we did that, and then he still was super excited because now he didn't have a front gate on his bed, so he played a little bit. So I said, I'm going to go lay down with him for a minute, and I'm going to put something on the side of the bed, a big old comforter, so if he rolls off, because it's his first time sleeping like this, he'll roll onto that. I did. I went and I laid down on the floor next to him about 30 minutes, and I heard his little breathing change. But he's so funny because he has to ensure that I'm there. So he had his little feet hanging off the bed, touching me. So like either I had to be grabbing his feet, or he had his feet on my belly or on my back or on my side, whichever way I was laying. He had to have his feet touching me. So I think the big boy bed is going to be a good transition for him. I think it's going to take some time to get used to. I think I might have to lay in there every day for a little bit just to get him comfortable sleeping in it by himself. I don't mind. It's cool, whatever. But we've transitioned him to a big boy bed. Now the circadian rhythm thing, his sleep cycle, it's the circadian rhythm usually changes around 5 or 6 years old for kids with autism. Now, whether it gets worse or better, we don't know. Autism is a spectrum, so not every child gets impacted the same way as the other. So for Avi, we've never really experienced a lot of sleep impacts. But like my nephews, their sleep cycle can be off the wall sometimes. They'll go to sleep really, really early, and then they're up like at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. They co-sleep, so they used to wake up a lot in the middle of the night. I don't know if they still do, but I know there's this woman that I follow on Instagram, and their daughter is autistic, nonverbal, and she has dementia. And I know the dementia has something to do with it because, of course, like your brain rhythm is also not working the same. And people with dementia also suffer from insomnia sometimes. But this little girl would go like 2, 3, 4 days, I think was the longest, without sleep. She just wouldn't sleep. And their parents had turned their living room into an essential playpen for her. It was all soft play in the living room. I think they even had like a little jumping balloon in there because she was just constantly active, constantly active. She wouldn't sleep. So from what I understand, her and her husband would take shifts over who would sleep or stay awake in the nighttime with the daughter, until she would finally knock out. And sometimes she would just take a nap, and then that was enough to refresh her. But yeah, I remember reading about that and seeing their story play out on Instagram. But like I said, it doesn't affect everybody. Like there are some people without autism that have insomnia. A lot of it has to do with blue screens, with, our cell phone usage, the light, our physical activity, our calorie intake. Yesterday I made it a point to cook something that had a lot of magnesium. So I made Tommy the dal, which is lentils with spinach and cashews in it. It just pretty much like blend it all together until like a real thick, warm, soupy paste. And then with a bed of rice. So he has carbs, he has veggies, he has nutrients, and he has magnesium. They say magnesium is good for sleep regulation. And for people who take melatonin, you don't always have to take melatonin. Sometimes you could just take a magnesium supplement because your body's lacking that. So that also helps hopefully regulate his sleep cycle. But yeah, we have to start making different changes. I'm hoping that this isn't a regular thing. But if it is, what can we do about it? If you have a child with autism, ASD, sensory issues, and you've experienced sleep cycle irregulation, tell me, what are your tips? I want to know sincerely, because we did this for a weekend and I'm so glad we didn't have anything planned because, girl, I was tired yesterday. I was struggling through the day, and I struggle bus a lot, but yesterday I felt like I was falling asleep at every red light, and I had to get my tires changed yesterday, and I was just sitting there at the tire place like, I'm gonna knock out in this chair. But Abby just kept on rolling with his little energy robot self. So yeah, I want to know if you have kids with autism or ASD or sensory issues and you experience sleep cycle irregularities. Let me know, because I want to know what it is that you use. I don't want to give a melatonin. I'm an adult and I take melatonin, and I feel like I'm dependent on melatonin. The nights that I don't take melatonin, I feel like I'm just like laying there with my eyes wide open, like somebody shut me off. So I don't want him to get stuck on the melatonin train this early in life. I'll let him do that when he's an adult and he can incentivize himself. It's not like he's not running around. It's not like he's not like climbing or being physically active. He's doing things all day long. My husband likes to say that he's not sleeping because he's building a little world inside his brain with Elsa, Anna, and Olaf, because that's his favorite movie right now, Frozen 2. But it kind of makes sense because he'll be laying there and he'll be talking to himself and doing little character gestures with his hands, and then you'll hear him sing the Frozen song. So if that's what he's doing, it's great, and I love that, but do that during the daytime. We need to sleep. Anyways, anything else that's going on? I really don't think there's anything else going on besides that. Oh, yes, there is. I'm fitness challenging. I've gained a lot of weight, and I keep on saying that my husband and I are trying to get back on track, but in reality, we're sitting down in the evening after we have our dinner, which our dinners are healthy. I do make salads. We have salads about 4 to 5 days a week. But we sit down and we end up getting stuck in front of the TV. So I've set an alarm on my phone during my free time during the day, which is usually like 1 o'clock after I've dropped Avi off at school. So 1 to 1:30. I'm going to be doing 30 minutes of cardio, whether it be I'm walking outside or I'm using the app that we have on our TV, and just doing a 30-minute workout. If my husband wants to do it in the evening when he comes home, we can go and do it again. I'll double up, but I need to be physically active, and I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not just trying to lose weight, I'm just trying to be healthier in general, but I'm also trying to get my family involved. If you want to join us, set an alarm on your phone. I also downloaded a calorie tracker because I want to decrease my daily caloric intake. I don't think I consume a lot during the day. It could be that I just need to be on a bigger deficit, but we'll see. My goal is to get back down to 200. I'm about 230 right now. So I want to get back down to 200. I'm 35 and I want to be healthier. I'm going to be a big person regardless because of my genetic pool. The Polish side of me just won't allow me to be a skinny biatch. So I'm okay with that. But I do want to be a thick girl. So that's that. If you want to join me, I've set an alarm on my phone from 1 to 1:30. Set an alarm on your phone for whatever free time you have. Just make it 30 minutes because 30 minutes is what you need to get your heart rate up, your body moving, break a little sweat, and then do your little cool down, whether it be stretching or whatever. But send me screenshots, post your screenshots, email your screenshots, whatever it is to me. And I want to track it with you. I want to be healthy with you. What else? Like, subscribe, leave a comment, check out my website. I've been updating it. I'll have another recipe up soon. That's it. Just like, subscribe, follow, share. Bye.